A guy in Ohio dumped a truckload of free wood chips onto the muddy path running through his vegetable garden, raked them flat, and pretty much forgot they were there. The next fall, he wandered out with his morning coffee and almost dropped the mug. Standing up out of those chips was a mushroom the size of a dinner plate, deep wine red, with a stalk as thick as his wrist. He will swear on anything you like that he never planted a single thing. And that is the honest truth, because he could not have. You cannot plant a mushroom the way most people pictured. Mushrooms do not grow from seeds. They have never had seeds, not one, not ever, no matter what the little packet you saw online promised you. So how did a burgundy giant rise up out of a pile of wood chips all on its own? And how can you make the exact same thing happen on purpose in your own backyard? That is the whole story today, and the mushroom behind it just might be the friendliest thing a total beginner can grow in America. Its name is the wine cap. A lot of folks call it the garden giant, and the Germans, who have been cultivating it in their gardens for ages, call it the brown kappa. Whatever name you use, it is a big, meaty, wine-colored mushroom that grows right in your garden mulch, tastes faintly of potatoes and red wine, and almost nobody on the internet is talking about it.
Before we get to your yard, the mix-up that trips up every single beginner needs clearing up. When that mushroom appeared in the Ohio garden, it did not sprout from a seed burying in the dirt. It grew from something already living in the wood chips. Picture my neighbor Dana, who got excited watching a cooking show and ordered a bag online labeled wine cap seeds. She sprinkled them into a flower pot of potting soil, set it on a bright windowsill, and watered it every day for a month. She got a whole lot of nothing and decided mushrooms just were not for her. The tragic part is that she was one small fact away from a garden full of them. So what is actually going on? A mushroom is not a plant, and the mushroom you see is not even the main organism. Tradd Cotter, a mycologist in South Carolina who wrote an entire book on growing mushrooms the low-tech outdoor way, describes the mushroom as just the fruit. The real body of the fungus is a vast web of pale, thread-like cells living down inside the wood chips, and that web is called mycelium. When the mycelium is mature and the weather turns right, it pushes up mushrooms for one job only, to release spores. Spores are like pollen and seeds rolled together, except they are microscopic, roughly the size of a speck of dust, and a single wine cap drops millions of them. They ride the wind, land on fresh wood somewhere, and start the whole thing over. Reproduction, with no seed anywhere in the picture. That hidden web can run for many feet through a single bed, which means the wine caps popping up all across your garden are often one connected organism, quietly eating wood and breathing out carbon dioxide the same way you do. Now, the 4 words that tangle up every newcomer in plain English. Spores are the dust, and they work, but they are slow and easy to contaminate, so almost nobody starts there. Mycelium is the living white web, the actual fungus. Spawn is mycelium that a supplier has already grown onto sawdust or green for you, a living starter that is awake and hungry to spread. And substrate is simply the food, in this case a pile of wood chips or straw that the mycelium eats its way through. Think of spawn as a sourdough starter and the wood chips as the flour you feed it. One is alive, the other is dinner. This is the part where growing wine caps stops sounding like a chemistry class. You do not fuss with spores, and you do not need a sterile lab or fancy grow tent. You buy live wine cap spawn, you build a shady bed of wood chips outdoors, and you mix the two together. Then nature does the heavy lifting while you go back to whatever you were doing. Tradd Cotter and plenty of other growers point to the wine cap as the single best outdoor bed for a first-timer, because it colonizes fast and it is almost impossible to confuse with anything else once it fruits.
Here is why this mushroom is such a gift for American gardeners. The caps can grow as big as a dinner plate, so a decent bed can hand you pounds of food. It is happy in partial shade along the north side of a house or a fence, spots where nothing else wants to grow, and it doubles as a soil builder. As the mycelium breaks down the wood, it pulls nutrients up toward your vegetable roots, which is why permaculture folks tuck wine cap beds right under their squash and tomatoes on purpose. There is one more quiet reason to grow it. You will almost never see a wine cap for sale at a grocery store because the big caps bruise and go soft too fast to ship, so growing your own is basically the only way most people will ever get to taste one. The shopping list is short and cheap. You want a 5-pound bag of wine cap spawn, which covers roughly 25 square feet, a few wheelbarrows of fresh hardwood wood chips, and a shady patch of ground. That is basically it. The best trick nobody mentions is where to get the chips for free. Call a local tree service or your power company because they are usually thrilled to dump a load of fresh chips rather than pay to haul them off. Fresher hardwood is better since old bagged landscaping bark from the hardware store is often too dry and sometimes dyed, and that will let you down. Cleanliness works differently outdoors. You are not sterilizing anything. You win by using fresh chips and a generous dose of spawn, so the wine cap gets a big head start and outruns the molds before they can move in. Speed is your whole strategy. Building the bed feels more like lasagna than science. Lay down a sheet of soaked cardboard first if you want to smother weeds, then spread 3 or 4 inches of damp wood chips. Crumble your spawn across that layer, breaking up any clumps, then top it with another few inches of chips and soak the whole thing with a hose. Tuck it into shade, keep it damp, and walk away. Over the next few weeks, the mycelium threads spread through the pile like fine white cobwebs, and if you lift a handful of chips, you can watch the webbing knit them together. Fruiting is the payoff, and it runs on 2 triggers, moisture and a drop in temperature. That is exactly why wine caps throw a small flush in spring and then a big bumper crop after the cool rains of fall. Depending on when you started the bed, you might get mushrooms the same season or the following spring. And once a bed is established, it comes back year after year as long as you feed it a fresh layer of chicks. If your bed seems lazy, you can often nudge it awake by giving it a long, deep soak right when the first cool nights of autumn arrive, since that swing from warm to cool is nature's signal that the season has turned. The first sign is a scattering of little reddish bumps poking through the chips, and within a couple of days, those bumps swell into caps you can actually cook with. Harvest young, and this is where most people wait too long. The best wine caps are picked at the button stage, while the cap is still curled tightly under and hugging the stem. At that point, they are firm and taste almost cashew sweet. Once the cap flattens out into a plate and the gills underneath turn from pale gray to purple black, the flavor goes flat, the stem gets stringy, and little beetles usually beat you to it. Just twist or cut each mushroom off at the base. A few things nobody tells beginners. That purple-black color is also your identification tool. Set a cap gills down on white paper overnight, and it drops a dark purplish, almost black spore print, which is a signature of the wine cap and easy to check. The bed wants moisture like a wrung-out sponge, damp but never a swamp. Keep it in shade because direct sun bleaches the caps to a pale tan and dries the whole thing to powder. And the single safety habit worth burning into your memory is this. A real wine cap never has a little cup or sac wrapped around the base of its stem. Some deadly mushrooms do. The classic mistakes are almost always the same. Dana with her windowsill flower pot is the big one, treating spawn like seed and dirt like a substrate. Another friend spread his spawn into dyed bagged mulch, got nothing, and blamed the mushroom. Someone else let their bed bake in the afternoon sun until it turned to dust. And the most common one of all is impatience, digging around in the chips to check on progress and shredding the young mycelium before it ever gets established. The fungus does not need a supervisor. It needs fresh food, water, shade, and a little faith. One serious note before you go foraging in your own excitement. Everything here is about mushrooms you grow on purpose from labeled spawn you bought. Never eat a wild mushroom you stumbled onto and cannot identify with total certainty. Even with a friendly species like this, confirm the purple-brown spore print, the rough toothed ring on the stem, and the absence of any sac at the base before anything reaches a pan. The old foragers say it best, when in doubt, throw it out. What gets me about the wine cap is how generous it is. A load of chips a tree crew was going to throw away turns into pounds of gourmet mushrooms year after year while quietly feeding your tomatoes at the same time. You were never missing a green thumb or some secret talent. You were only ever missing that one small fact about seeds. And now it is yours.
If this video is informative, then comment yes. That motivates us to produce more videos like this.